Tonight was 28th on the lunar calendar. The moon nowhere in sight. The night was as dark as it could be, yet the city was visible, as bright as it could be during the day, lit up in the flames reaching the deadly black sky. Fear gripped the whole city in its shackles. Ashage, a city born from fire and betrayal. Every street corner holds a memory of someone Jungkook had to destroy. Its streets were filled with the scent of blood. It was silent from the past 3 weeks, since Jungkook's news of marriage spread it. Nobody liked that kind of silence. From blood spilling in the streets every day, there was peace. 3 whole weeks of peace. An outsider might think maybe someone was there to love the devil, ruling the ash edge. But the locals never believed that. No one, absolutely no one could ever tame him. It was like a silence before the storm, and tonight they could see it. The signs, the black night, red sky, bright like flames, people hid in their homes, locked and doors and windows, withdrew their weapons. The hell was here. Wine was born in this city. Since the day she opened her eyes, all she knew was violence. During day, during night, it was all about violence. Discard your feelings, no human lives here, was what she learned as a child. So she spent her life like that, following commands from her father. Once she stepped out of her home, the father was replaced by her boss from her office place, command after command. All she had to do was obey. Like a robot, wake up in the morning, earn money, return home to the rotten streets, see blood spilling, act like nothing is happening, a human dying right before your eyes, nothing. It is supposed to do nothing to you. Avert your eyes, mind your business, return home, and sleep. Day after day, the same routine, same hell, until she found a man whose touch was warm against her skin. His rough expressions would melt when she comes in view. His black eyes would seem less darker, filled with her vision. It didn't affect mine. She was not raised to have feelings, but day after day she met him. Sometimes he would be bleeding, sometimes hungry, the other nights just craving for her. They started getting closer. Mine liked it. Every time his warm hands laid on her body, and so one night they got in an intimate session. That's all. That was all. Both of them knew. He belonged to the streets, and she belonged to a place without feelings. She got married and never saw him again. Married to the reason behind everyone's robotic, blood-filled lives. 3 weeks of marriage, and then tonight, her past opened up in front of her again, in the worst shape ever. She sat there on the couch. She had fainted a while ago, and her husband, the John Jungkook, had called his personal doctor, and now they were told she was pregnant. But the thing was, Wine and Jungkook never had such exchange of intimacy. Guesses? Make out? Yeah. All that happened, but nothing extreme enough to get her pregnant. Check again. Take a test, he said, but the report came out and the results were the same. Quiet. It was quieter than it's supposed to be. After such a news, Vine stayed on the couch. The doctor had left long ago, and her husband never uttered a word. Vine, if you're going to kill me, do it quickly. All this is giving me creeps. He stepped over to her, placed a knee on the couch beside her, and grabbed her jaw, half hovering over her. He forced her to meet his eyes. That was the first. Regardless of the monster she believed him to be, and he definitely was, he was definitely gentle with her, just like that man from her past. JK, right. That sounds like just right for betrayal. Wine, betrayal? This happened before I met you. JK, there's something called letting the other know you're freaking pregnant with someone else's child being my wife, and I'm finding it now through a doctor. She saw it, that flame burning in those eyes, but her eyes, they were dead as ever. She was still the same. She could not love, could not feel. She was just raised that way. Jungkook never once received a look of affection from her. Dead is always. JK, so his grip against her jaw loosened. It turned into something scary, as it slowly grazed against her cheek in an affectionate manner. JK, when I touched you, did you imagine him? Wine, imagine? No, I was with him because his hands were warm. You're the same. When you touch me like that, it's like one hand was replaced by another, but it feels the same, warm. Something I want more and more. Wine, he came home with injuries sometimes. He would stand in front of the mirror and treat them himself. All those blood-filled clots would fill up the floor. The room would smell like sweat and blood. It's the same here. You come back like that too. JK, but you treat mine with your hands. Wine, does that make you happy? The fire in his eyes had replaced with something else. Something mine had never seen before, and she couldn't categorize it yet. Wine. He was a rough man. Violence was all he knew, and his eyes would turn soft as they met mine. I never understood how it was possible, but it's the same with you. Jungkook's hand continued caressing her cheek. That was the only thing she liked. Warm hands on her skin made her feel a little humane. Wine. He never once crossed my mind since we were married. It was more of a routine which continued. Warm hands, soft eyes, and violence. It was all the same. Was he at fault? She grew up to be such emotionless. Something as simple as affection wasn't understood by her. It was as if she was empty inside. Take it. Ah, this is what you liked. His hand traveled down to her neck, leaned in, kissed her neck. It was wet, left a mark, then he moved up to her jaw, and then to her lips. A kiss, an emotionless kiss, as always. But he could tell she liked it. Jake, I corrupted you into using people. First that man, and now me. Is that what you truly liked? She hummed and he leaned closer. His touch was still gentle. I understood some things. He was supposed to kill her by now. A man filled with violence. But what she didn't see was his hand behind her, gripping the couch, too near to rip it apart. Take it, then use me. Use me as much as you want, he whispered. Their eyes met, and for a while there was a silence. Wine, why? Ah, she could never understand such things. Why? Why wasn't he killing her? Why wasn't he mad? Why wasn't he. Jake, because I'm going to make you use me until it's only me you can think about. Jake, not only for warm hands and blood-filled clothes, not for the physical contact only, but mentally and spiritually, until you are filled by me. I'm going to make you use me because there's no one else who's going to replace me. You're tied to me for life. It was first for Ryan, a skip of a heartbeat. It made her hands tremble, a kind of feeling she never experienced before. It raised goosebumps all over her skin and made her eyes go wide for a moment before everything went back to normal. Jungkook took her in his arms in one swift motion, took her to bed and placed her down. Once he hovered above her, he showed her the meaning of affection he meant, what he truly meant by those words. And that night, the city burned after she slept. His wife, pregnant with someone else's child, and that he stays calm. The true hell was here. The fury inside of him matched the burning city. The flames, right before his eyes, pictured those ablaze inside his heart. He was not a saint. He was as tainted as a human could ever be, a man above all. His body trembled that night with fury like it never before. He was going to make it real. He was going to make her fall for him, feel emotions. He was going to be the one for her. After all, he was just as corrupted as she was.